In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in the cycle of spending. We're constantly bombarded with messages telling us to buy more stuff, and it can be hard to resist temptation. But if you're not careful, overspending can lead to financial problems, stress, and even debt. The good news is that there are things you can do to take control of your spending and reach your financial goals. In this video, we'll discuss the problem of overspending, the importance of budgeting, and how to save money on everyday expenses. We'll also talk about how to avoid debt and get help if you're already struggling. The problem of overspending. Overspending is a common problem. In fact, a recent study found that 68% of Americans have trouble managing their spending. There are a number of reasons why people overspend, including impulse buying. This is when you buy something without thinking about it first. You may be tempted by a sale, or you may just feel like treating yourself. Keeping up with the Joneses. This is when you feel like you need to spend money to keep up with the appearance of your friends and neighbors. And emotional spending. This is when you use shopping to cope with stress, anxiety, or boredom. Furthermore, overspending can have a serious impact on your finances. It can lead to debt. If you're spending more money than you have, you'll eventually end up in debt. This can make it difficult to pay your bills, and it can damage your credit score. Financial stress. Overspending can cause a lot of stress and anxiety. You may feel like you're always behind on your bills, and you may worry about how you're going to make ends meet. And relationship problems. Overspending can also put a strain on your relationships. If you're constantly arguing with your partner about money, it can damage your trust and intimacy. The importance of budgeting. The first step to controlling your spending is to create a budget. A budget is a plan for how you will spend your money each month. It can help you track your income and expenses and make sure that you're not spending more money than you have. Here are some tips for creating a budget. Track your income and expenses for a month. This will give you a good idea of where your money is going. Set realistic goals. Don't try to cut your spending too much too quickly. And be flexible. Your budget is a living document, and you may need to adjust it from time to time. There are a number of different ways to create a budget. You can use a spreadsheet, a budgeting app, or even a simple piece of paper and pencil. The most important thing is to find a method that works for you and that you stick to. Saving money on everyday expenses. There are a number of ways to save money on your everyday expenses. Here are a few tips. Groceries. Shop at discount grocery stores, plan your meals ahead of time, and cook at home more often. Transportation. Drive less, take public transportation, or carpool. Utilities. Turn off lights when you leave a room, unplug electronics when you're not using them, and wash clothes in cold water. And entertainment. Find free or low-cost activities to do in your spare time, such as going to the park, reading a book, or watching a movie at home. In addition to these general tips, there are also specific ways to save money on each of your major expenses. For example, if you're trying to save money on housing, you could consider downsizing to a smaller apartment or getting a roommate. If you're trying to save money on transportation, you could consider buying a used car or riding your bike to work. Avoiding debt. Debt can be a major burden, and it can be difficult to get out of. If you're struggling with debt, there are a number of resources available to help you. You can talk to a credit counselor, or you can consider debt consolidation or bankruptcy. Here are some tips for avoiding debt in the first place. Live below your means. Don't spend more money than you have. This may sound obvious, but it's the most important principle for avoiding debt. Avoid using credit cards. Credit cards can be a tempting way to pay for things, but they can also lead to debt if you're not careful. If you do use credit cards, pay them off in full each month. And get a handle on your student loan debt. Student loan debt is a major problem for many people. There are a number of repayment options available, so talk to your loan servicer to find a plan that works for you. Sticking to your plan. Creating a budget and finding ways to save money is a great first step, but the real challenge is sticking to your plan. Here are some tips for staying on track. Review your budget regularly. This will help you stay on top of your spending and make adjustments as needed. Set realistic goals. Don't try to change your spending habits overnight. Start with small changes and gradually work your way up. Find an accountability partner. Tell a friend or family member about your budget goals and ask them to hold you accountable. And reward yourself for your progress. When you reach a milestone, reward yourself with something non-monetary, like a relaxing evening out or a weekend trip. Controlling your spending is not easy, but it is possible. By following the tips in this video, you can take control of your finances and reach your financial goals. Remember, the most important thing is to start somewhere and make progress. Every little bit counts. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and leave your comment. Have a great day.